but one that I think is of interest to a lot of folks in the city.
Okay. So I'll entertain a motion to move items A and C to new business B and Z.
Correct.
Do I have a second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
I'm sorry, Madam Mayor, just for clarification. I didn't hear who made the motion to amend the
Commissioner
agenda.
Boyd.
Thank you,
And Commissioner Zerdy, second motion.
thank you.
And we're moving them to items B and C.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to, sorry. I'll entertain a motion to accept the agenda as, do we do that?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I believe you just did.
You guys got me all confused. Got me all confused. Got me crazy.
It's gonna be one of those nights.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, moving on to presentations. Proclamation A, declaring March 2015 as Ethics Awareness Month. One of the first cities to proclaim this in Palm Beach County, by the way. Do we have anyone here to accept the proclamation? Then I will read it from here. Whereas March has been declared National Ethics Awareness Month at the national, county, and municipal levels. And whereas ethics is a set of values that consistently guides our behavior, and as applied to government, it is essential to the proper conduct and operation of the government that public officials be independent and impartial so that their actions can easily be seen to encompass ethical behaviors consistent with established standards of conduct as they provide important governmental services. And whereas Palm Beach County was identified as a leader in ethics reform and received a national award for its focus on the importance of ethics and has implemented the Palm Beach County Code of Ethics through the continued partnership and support of all 38 municipalities which have adopted it countywide through referendum. And whereas the City of Lake Worth challenges and invites all residents and community leaders to join in learning more about the ethics movement in Palm Beach County and to strive for ethical actions in all aspects of their daily life. Now therefore I, Pam Triolo, Mayor of the City of Lake Worth, Florida, by virtue of the authority vested in me, do hereby proclaim March 2015 as Ethics Awareness Month. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, item 5B, Planning and Zoning Board update. Mr. Rice, you're going to be doing the honors?
Yeah.
Okay. Commissioner Zerdy?
Mayor, on the ethics side, all of us have to take a 4-hour ethics training, okay, just to let folks know. And then everybody on volunteer boards also has to take an ethics training too, right?
Correct.
So in order to be able to serve on any of the city boards.
Correct. Okay. Mr. Rice?
Madam Mayor, Commissioners, Greg Rice, Chair of the Planning and Zoning Board. Glad to be with you this evening, and I have some of my fellow board members in the room we'll be introducing in just a few minutes. Give you a little update on what we've been doing since this board was last before you guys. I think it was August. Just a brief explanation of some of the things that the Planning and Zoning Board does and the decision making that they do and how it relates to what's going on in the city. We are a volunteer board, of course, and we serve in the advisory capacity to recommend to the commissioners on things that come before us, and then we make a recommendation to you guys on comprehensive plan amendments, zoning regulation and changes, and annexation. Those are the things that come before you, and you guys get the final word on what happens there. But we are also a quasi-judicial a group as well, and we make decisions on major site plan revisions for commercial development, conditional land use, and variances. And we also have the ability to consider appeals. If somebody submits something to the city and it goes through the process in the either planning or zoning or whatever building, and they don't like what the result from staff might be, they can appeal it, and we would listen to that appeal. make a decision based on that. We were last before you, like I said, I believe back in August when John Rinaldi was chair of this board and gave you an update of what was going on back then. It was a rather short presentation in as much as we didn't have quite as much going on then as has been going on now, but we were showing signs of some light at the end of the tunnel back then. And we'll be updating you tonight on the things that has happened since he was here and since we were last before you. We meet once a month. Usually the first Wednesday of the month, we meet in this chambers. Our meetings are open to the public. We encourage you to come and hear what's going on in the city and get involved. You have the opportunity to speak on issues that might have an impact or relate to you in your home or business or whatever, but you also can speak in a public comment capacity as well. We've had 5 regular meetings, 1 special meeting since that last time we were before you. Moving right along. Here are some of the things that we have done since we last were in front of you. In an advisory capacity, we have made some recommendations for some comprehensive plan amendments, the Park of Commerce annexation, and something that's on the agenda tonight for you, the 10-year water supply plan. Also, 1 LDR text amendment, and a RPD, a residential plan development. We have, in our quasi-judicial capacity, we have had, and some of these might have been a combination because sometimes it's more than one thing that we have to consider. But we've had 8 major site plan reviews, 8 conditional land use reviews, and 1 RPD, the Village of Lake Osborne, Phase 2. In the commercial development major site plan approvals, we have some things here that I will bring to your attention and what has been going on in the city. And it's some very encouraging things that I think has happened since we were last before you. For those of you that might be familiar with this project, it's called Waterville. It's off of 10th Avenue, actually it's on the north side of 10th Avenue on the water. It's a 75-unit townhouse development. You can see by the slide, they're all 3-bedroom, 17 to 1,800 square feet in size, so it's great size. They all have garages. They're beautiful. The artist renders and stuff that were presented really showcased well, and I think it's going to be a great addition to the city. The starting price on these units, these are fee simple. These are not rentals. These are owned properties that people will be living in, families and singles, I'm sure, as well. The starting price is going to be in the mid-200s. So if you multiply 75 times, let's use the round number of 275, you're talking about over a $20 billion improvement in our tax base in the city, which is something we've been hoping and looking for the last few years now. I have a hard time with this name. It's Lucente. A little accent on the E. I guess that's French. And you know, those French have a different word for everything. That's a joke. You guys think about it. Anyhow, the Lucente, I'm sure you've seen the sign go up. It's near our much bragged about downtown Publix. It's this project, 2nd Avenue North and J Street. It is a 23-unit townhome community. The townhomes will range in size from 1,500 to 2,200 square feet. Very nice development. It's by the developer is Kennedy Homes. They're a 50-plus-year-old business that does a lot of specialty work in townhomes and single-family homes. But the problem, as those of you that saw the paper today, the Palm Beach Post, talking about it's getting harder and harder for residential communities because of the lack of properties that are big enough to house residential single-family home neighborhoods. And so the townhouses is a way that a lot of communities are helping with that. And this is going to be quite a development as well when it's through. And the guy that is president of Kennedy Homes said that he was looking for a few things, and one of the things that he was looking for is a piece of property that he could build. It was close to the downtown. Being a mile or so away from the water was certainly a benefit, but when he talked, he said working with our planning department and all the things that they've had to go through, he said was really a refreshing difference from what he's heard about Lake Worth in the past. So if you multiply 23 times 275, you're talking about almost $7 million in this project. And these are fee simple townhomes. This is for those of you that travel west on Lake Worth Road, west of town a little bit, still in the city, I mean west of the city, the downtown. The villages of Lake Osborne. This is a sister community, same developers, same funding source, privately funded, that is a complement to the villages of Lake Worth. Not a dedication was just last week. I was out of town when that occurred, but that is a beautiful property. The villages of Lake Worth. I've gone there a couple of times and checked out. Just driving through and driving around, landscaping and everything else. What a great addition to that part of town that was. This is going to be a smaller version of that, only 118 units here, but it has an estimated value of $13 billion. So I think that we'll be happy to see when that goes in and the improvements that will do to that western corridor of our city. The Villages of Valor. This is in our Park of Commerce area. It's 2nd Avenue North. And, a few years ago, you guys brought back the Veterans Day Parade to salute the veterans for their service. This is kind of in line with some of that. This is going to be 104 resident or dwelling units that will be veterans housing and support services for the vets. Too often we hear about how the vets are overlooked and certainly not always appreciated for the service they've done. But this particular project is over 150,000 square feet, and it has a projected value of $16 million. This was approved by us in November 2014. And for those of you that say, well, where's the commercial at? Here's a great example of something that's going to be coming out of the ground in our Park of Commerce. For those of you that see these big orange dump trucks running all up and down I-95 and around town, Hard Drives Construction. Hard Drives Construction is one of the stalwart construction companies in Palm Beach County, founded in 1950 and headquartered in Delray. They're a big underground and road construction company, and they have bought property in our Park of Commerce to build this 25,000 square feet service warehouse type building, service center for their fleet maintenance. All these big trucks and things will be moving their service center from Delray to the Park of Commerce. And in addition to that, there'll be a 3,000 square foot administrative building that will be a part of this, and it's right there in the Park of Commerce at Boutwell and 4th Avenue North. So we're really looking forward to seeing that. They've cooperated with the city by giving right-of-ways and things like that we need for the improvements to the Park of Commerce. So we certainly welcome Hard Drives Construction at Lake Worth and are looking forward to what they're going to do for that part of our city. And a status update on some of the developments and things that have come before the Planning and Zoning Board before us is, of course, like I mentioned, groundbreaking or dedication or whatever, not groundbreaking, dedication for this was last week, the 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units at the Villages of Lake Worth. Well, we've bragged about that, but $15.8 million, and it's now on the tax rolls. Value Place Hotel. The hotel is going to be just west of 95 on 10th Avenue, the 4-story, 46,000 square foot hotel, $5.7 million, and the permits have already been issued on that, so that will be coming, we hope, within the next 9 months to a year. Once again, back to our Park of Commerce, which is, certainly a big bright spot in our future here in Lake Worth, is Melrose Irrigation. If you haven't done it, I encourage all of you guys to drive down Boutwell Road and take a look at the building that these folks have put up there. They're an irrigation supply company, and look at the architecture, their choice of colors, the landscaping. While some of these other billion-dollar projects, this was $375,000, might not look as big, and it certainly is not in dollars, but what that represents is new business, new building, new activity, new life coming into our Park of Commerce. And so we drive down there, take a look at it. I think you'll be glad you did. As we all know, we drive down 6th Avenue South. This is almost completed. They're hoping to have this done probably by summer. It's a $10 million project, I think it looks very nice sitting there on the side of the road. I drive down there quite a bit, and like I said, hopefully coming summer 2015. In addition to the approvals and stuff, we've had our annual ethics training. Barbara's our attorney that sits in on all of our meetings and advises us. She did our annual ethics review training in the first meeting in January, as well as she gave a little talk on our decision-making process and what we have to do and what we have to consider in making those decisions that we sit in front of. And in the room tonight, I have 1, 2, 3, I think 3. Could you guys stand up, Anthony, Cindy, and Mark? These are 3 of the folks that they said they wanted to get involved in the city instead of just sitting on the sideline, and they certainly have been a big help. Thank you guys. And we couldn't. I have to brag on William Waters and his staff, because he hasn't. I think he's to the point now where he hasn't been in a long time, where he can field a whole basketball team or whatever. He's got everybody in place, and they have really done their work as far as getting us the backup information and all that we need to be able to do what we do. Just like you guys, if you don't have that backup material, kind of makes these meetings awfully long. So anyhow, that's the report. Any questions? I'd be glad to answer them.
Thank you. Commissioner Sturdy?
Thank you, Greg. I have heard some of the same sentiments there from some of the folks bringing projects into the city. And my numbers, I'm adding up, I'm seeing what you put up here tonight is a little over $90 million worth of investment into our city. And I wanted to also thank you guys, because you were really helpful. And William was, particularly when we worked together on the land development regulations that were put together to take the confusion out, which years ago created lots of risk for people who didn't know how they would be interpreted. And the board sees clearly to make these decisions. We've heard very good response, because what gets decided at the board is clear at the staff level, gets implemented at the staff level, and those people who are investing are assured that there's good follow-through. That makes a huge difference. The word's out. We have regulations that are guiding us as what the city's vision is compared to whatever the other land use plan is, master plan as well. And so that's all getting compiled together. So I want to applaud you for guiding through this uptick, and I hope that continues. And good luck in the future. Thank you for your help.
Well, certainly, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner McCoy?
Thank you, Greg, and thank all of you for the work on planning and zoning. A couple of small questions, and thank you for the overview of the increase in tax base and development in the city. I had 2 questions on the first 2, Waterville and Lucente, with accent on the E.
Those French.
That was French, there we go. Waterville, I believe, am I correct in understanding that the access to that would be 10th Avenue North?
It's
Eventually.
It could be. It's not yet.
What is the access right now?
You come in off the 10th, but it's what's the name of that road? Is it?
It's not directly.
No, not directly.
No, it's up on the canal.
Right.
But you have to come in on 10th to get to it.
Right, of course.
And I guess the question, those of us who use 10th with some regularity are very aware that that tends to get pretty congested right now, without any further development either in the Park of Commerce or there. Was there any sort of traffic study? Do we require a traffic study?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Okay. Did planning and zoning do that, or who did that?
Staff require, as part of our regulations.
Okay, thank you.
Vice Mayor, you got it?
I'm good, thank you.
I just wanted to also thank you and the board. You know, we've all appointed someone to the board, and we thank you for all your hard work. And I know it takes a lot to sit in those meetings, and sometimes they get a little boring. But it's helping the city move forward in a positive way, in a taxable way. And you know, as we move forward with the Park of Commerce and build our tax base, it's gonna help everyone in the city. So I just, again, wanna thank you for all your hard work and volunteering. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ditto. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.